Okay, remember that they are changing my voice. Before we get into Hosea 6, let me just briefly go over Hosea 1 through 5, the summary. So I wrote down in my notes a summary. So in Hosea 1, Hosea is told to marry a promiscuous woman. As the land is full of adultery, he marries Gomer, daughter of Diblaim. His first child is a son, Jezreel, as God will break Israel's bow in the valley of Jezreel. That's why his first son is called Jezreel. Then she gives birth to a daughter, Lo-Ruhamah, not loved, and another son, Lo-Ami, not my people. Okay, he will save the chosen of Judah. He will save the chosen by Judah, and he himself will do it, and not by bow, sword, or battle, but by the Spirit of the Lord, right? It's not going to be by the force of the military of a nation, for example, right? It's not going to be me running around beating everyone up or something. It's going to be by the Spirit of God, the principles of God, by obeying God's commands. That's how anyone who's saved will be saved. And when it says by Judah, it means like the reason why the word tribe is a play on words for tribe, right? There's no Jew or Gentile. So who fits the description of Judah? Who's replacing Judah, right? Because the kingdom of heaven will be taken away from the Jews and given to a people who will do its works. So who will replace the king of Judah, the king of kings? That's me. Okay, that's what the story is saying. In reality, it's always been me. There's no replacing them. It's just, they wrote this so they would believe what is true, that they were given a fair chance like everyone else, and they failed. And they're citing things that happened later when their failure was really before that. That's why they say a day to God is 1,000 years. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Okay, Hosea 2. God will block Israel's path with thorns, thorn bushes, and wall her in. Okay. Her ballast lovers won't want her, and she will return to God and call him my husband instead of my master. She will be just and righteous. So basically Hosea 3 is about Hosea buying back his wife and it being symbolic, and he makes certain rules, and it's symbolic of the Jews being without their king for a while. Okay, until the end, those who are really the Jews, and again, it's not Jew or Gentile, those who are really the children of God who obey the commandments of God, rally and obey God through me, if any of them do. And my genes by themselves and my blood, as I'm mixed, covers that anyway. So, just my parents and I, it's fulfillment of the scripture either way. Hosea 4 says, their sins will bring them down. They will not flourish. The spirit of prostitution leads the Israelites astray. They perish for not obeying God through me. Hosea 5 says the spirit of prostitution is in their evil hearts. They are betas and brutes. They have illegitimate children. They move ancient boundary stones. Okay, and the king of Assyria cannot cure them, only I can. So let's get into Hosea chapter 6. So Hosea 6, come, let us return to the Lord. He has torn us to pieces, but he will heal us. He has injured us, but he will bind up our wounds. After 2 days he will revive us. On the 3rd day he will restore us. Just like the 3 days of the resurrection, right? It's figurative. That we may live in his presence. Let us acknowledge the Lord. Let us press on to acknowledge him. As surely as the sun rises, he will appear. He will come to us like the winter rains, like the spring rains that water the earth. What can I do with you, Ephraim? What can I do with you, Judah? Your love is like the morning mist, like the early dew that disappears. Therefore, I cut you in pieces with my prophets. I kill you with the words of my mouth. Then my judgments go forth like the sun. So he's going to, cut them off, destroy those who rebel. Okay, the sun is symbolic of God's judgment. We see in Psalm 19, okay, the sun is a symbolic of God and the sun, me. And we see in Malachi, the sun in righteousness, the root and offspring of David, the bright morning star, the judge, the judgments of God, the spirit of judgments from God, the justice of God, the righteousness of God, and the judgments of God. For I desire mercy, not sacrifice, and acknowledgement of God rather than burnt offerings. As at Adam, or like human beings. So again, the mark of the beast is the mark that Adam also accepted, and people aren't supposed to accept it. It's the mark of accepting that rebellion. That was when the original rebellion occurs, when they are dumb enough to be like people in cults and to not do what God says, okay, and they let the snake trick them and so on and so forth. Okay, that's why it's referring to Adam as humanity, right, as human beings, as and we see that in Revelations, it's 666 is the mark of a man or humanity's number. So it's the mark of Adam's mistake. Okay, it's also the mark of Cain. Okay, there's a lot of people that really embody taking the mark of Jezebel and so on and so forth. Okay. Okay, so as at Adam they have broken the covenant, they were unfaithful to me there. Gilead is a city of evildoers, stained with footprints of blood. As marauders lie in ambush for victims, so do the bands of priests. They murder on the road to Shechem, carrying out their wicked schemes. I have seen a horrible thing in Israel. There Ephraim is given to prostitution. Israel is defiled. Also for you, Judah, a harvest is appointed when I restore the fortunes of my people.